This time at the Quick Speed Shop, I'm getting ready to glue the roof skin on the Model A hot rod shop truck. I'm going to be using the Lennox diamond tip cutoff wheel blade on my saw and my 3 4.5 inch grinder. I'm just going to lip this edge down here and then fit it up on, up on the roof. One thing I did do is I took and I put Eastwood's rust converter on the back of this skin, and then I painted it flat black to convert all the surface rust is on the back here. So let me get this cut and I'll cut her on out. Right, that first initial trim came out real nice. The top fits right down inside the panel extension here. Piece is just about perfect. And the only thing I got to trim is I left the bullets back here in the back a little bit long. They hang over the back of the roof. When I box those in with steel, I can trim those down. And the only welding it's going to be is on the pieces that box this in back here. I'll have to weld it up around, and I'm thinking about making a round rod and form like a little eyebrow in the back here and putting like little third brake lights in the roof back here, but I haven't thought that process all the way out yet. What I want to do next is, now that I've got this on here and it fits real nice, is when I did those in the last video, I did 3/8 steel rod supports for the outside of these roof pieces here. I want to do another pair of them about halfway in on this roof skin, and then I've got a center bar here, which I'm going to put a piece of foam on that because you can see here I've got about a 1/4 inch gap, and I didn't, when I first formed that piece, I didn't know exactly where the skin was going to be, so I'm going to put a piece of foam on that to hold the tin up, and that will hold, won't let it rattle. But these 3/8 rods ones I'm going to make now, they're going to be right up tight to the skin, and I'm going to do the same process as the outside, where I used a little bit of silicone RTV to hold the tin to the rods, but being silicone, it's flexible enough so when this thing heats and contracts in the sunlight, it'll move on the silicone and it won't buckle the roof skin up. Alright, I got my 3/8 rods here. One of my neighbors moved away about 4 years ago, and he gave me a whole bunch of stuff, including these rods. I've had them stashed for 4 years, and now they're coming in handy. So that's why you always stash it, you don't trash it. So there we go. It'll go right about there. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put a little pressure on here and just bend it in the vise just a little bit and get the curve to fit over the skin shape, and we'll put one on the other side and then finish out finish it out by tying into the center piece with a cross here, so this will have plenty of structure here. Alright, I got my rod cut to length, and what I'm doing is I just marked out some increments on here, and I've marked out the front because the front has got a little bit less crown than the back. And the only thing I'm doing is I'm using these marks to indicate the top. So all my crown is going to go like this. And I just go here in the vise and just kind of eyeball it, leave the vise a little bit loose. I go to my mark and I just tug just a little bit on the line. Go to my next mark and tug it a little bit. And I go to the next one and tug that a little bit. You can already see, I don't know if you can see how that flap bends around there. I already put just a little bit of bend in it. I'll go over to the roof and I'll get a look and see how she looks. I got some marks on the roof here, get the front, and I just lay this right on the skin. Then I just compare. Oh, it looks pretty good. It's following it right along through here, through the flat portion. It's got a little curve around here, and then it needs to go down just a little bit more in the back, where more of the crown's in the back here. So I just got to go to my one mark and put just a little more bend in it. And it'll pull the tail down over here, and then I see like a 1/16 of an inch gap, which is fine. Once I set this down in here and weld it, there'll be just a little bit of gap here, and that'll be perfect for the silicone to go on here. And I'll let the silicone do the actual touching of the skin and locating it in there, so it doesn't get any vibration or action. But it's just that simple. Just tweak it just a little bit. Doesn't take much to to bend it. You can bend it too far, and oh, that's perfect now. Now there's no gap under there whatsoever. It's uniform, so that's perfect. So now I've got the roof marked in the front and back. I'll put these down flush with where the skin touches, and then it'll be in the right perfect spot. I'll tack them in, and then make these cross pieces over here, which will tie this to the center and just kind of make the whole thing into like a basket weave pattern. Bam, there we go. I got these both welded in here nice. And when I clamp the top down, they fit right perfect. They got just a slight crown. So what I want to do now to finish this up is right here is the rod that goes from this piece out to the edge. I want to continue that here and then stop it in the center to give this a like a basket weave support from both sides. So I'll fab up these cross pieces real fast. They're just going to be straight pieces welded right in here, no problem. And then we'll be ready to rock and roll on getting the skin going. There we go. I just got to do this for the other two pieces over here, and this thing will be all tied in nice, ready to rock and roll. All right, bam, that came out perfect. Check this out. It's all origamied in here, perfect, and it should support the skin, no problem. Just got to clean up the edges. I'll rough them up with a grinder all the way around here, so it's got a nice aggressive surface for the epoxy to stick to, and then I think it's ready to put it on. Alright, the epoxy I'm going to use to glue this together is SEM door skin and other structural adhesive epoxy. It's got a 30-minute working time, a 2-hour cure or setup time, and then a 24-hour cure time. And on the back here they got about 50 different types of epoxies. The paint store had this one. And let's cut it open here and I'll show you what it looks like. It's a two-part epoxy here. You got two tubes that goes in like a little caulk gun, and then it's got the straw that's got a mixing gate in it. So you open up the end, break the end off, thread the straw on like this, and then it goes in the gun and it mixes it through the straw, and then it comes out and you apply it to your panel. And then you leave the straw on and it sets up in the straw. You take it off and they give you another one. So you get like 2 straws with it, so you can do 2 shots. But I'll probably use, I don't know, probably half this putting the roof on, and I'll save the rest of it for something else. Okay, it's a moment of truth here. Oh, and I got the gun for the epoxy here. I've already snapped the tube off to expose both ends, and I'm going to roll mixing tip on here. Bam. So I've never done this before. Let's see what happens. And I can just go ahead and, where is this? It's got a rack into here. I think it's already racked. Let's go ahead and work it here. Oh, here it comes. It says to try it first to make sure there's no marbleization in the epoxy. You can work with the stuff for half an hour. Yep, that's nice and black. Okay, oop. Too much. Back the gun off. It's got a half-hour working time to work with it. Alright, there we go. So let's go over here. I've cleaned all this with lacquer thinner. I roughed up the edge with a grinder with a flat disc, real coarse flat disc, and I did the same thing on the bottom of the roof skin and cleaned that off. And I think we're ready to go. I got some foam on the center here, which will mush down. And I think we're ready to rock and roll here with the epoxy. So I got to think where I want to tack a little bit back here. So I'm not going to put any here and here, because that's where my welding's going to be. But everything else, I think I'm just going to spooge it on, and then I got an applicator. I'm going to spread it out a little bit with an applicator. So let's just Said make a nice bead. Nice bead on here. And I'm going to spread this out. I got a little plastic applicator. I'm going to spread this out. Make sure it covers this whole flange. I also had to crank the temperature up to like 70 degrees in here because it said use this below, don't use it below 70. Alright, so I'm just going to spread this on my applicator. Oh, this is perfect. Right out here like this. Make sure I get coverage on my flange action. I'm going to do one pass here and I'm going to drag it the other way. Oh, shoot. Wipe that off in a second. It's kind of like the consistency of like JB Weld or something like that. Try to place it one shot. Pretty close. All right. Bam. Got it all over me. About perfect. Just drag it this way just a little bit. Alright, push it backward just a hair. Looks good there. Okay, I'm going to go do a bunch of clamping action here. I've cut some angle iron 30 inches and I'm going to use it because this is flat. I'm going to use it as a straight edge to help mush this together. Ah, got freaking goop on me. Oh, my gloves ripped. Dang it. Want to use this angle iron. I'm going to come in here and clamp this onto this. Ooh, look at that. Nice. Oop. Just don't bond that to the roof. All right, there we go. Use that as a clamp. Alright. Get this clamped up temporary here. Now I'm going to come back here. I'm going to mush down. I'm going to put some weight on here. Some weight on the front. Alright, I got some of my suitcase weights up on here. I'm just tacking the spots I've got to get down by tacking action. And then we'll be good to rock and roll here. I just got to add some more side clamps, make sure I got this side squeezed, and then I think it's going to be okay. The front is squeezed nice. I got a couple of tacks in the center and a couple of tacks in the corner. Everything's flat. So let's maybe get clamped up here on the edges a little bit better. We'll go from there. All right, bam, I got it. 2 thumbs up. I got her all smushed down here. Got a lot of weight on here now. These are 40-pound a piece suitcase weights for tractors, so I got a ton of squish on the front. I got it all clamped out here. I added some more clamps for some more leverage. That seems to be all on nice. I've done all my welding around the back, just in the corners where I wanted to hit all 4 corners. And then the bead along the front where I had added that angle iron and the stuff in the last video where I had a little cavity in there. I flowed all that with epoxy. That should set up nice in the front, and it's up over the edge of the skin, so it should fill all that in nice. Then I can hit it with a sander or whatever, sand the extra epoxy that's sticking off, and then start doing the filler work. But this roof is glued and welded on. It's not going anywhere. It fits the structure perfect. Everything's awesome. So I'm really happy with it. It's the first time I've ever glued anything together. I know this is the new school way, how they do door skins and stuff and roof panels on cars nowadays at the factory. So saved me a ton of welding and a ton of grinding and a ton of chance for warping these flat panels. So as long as it stays on, it should be the hot setup. Bam. So that's it for now. I got to let this thing set up for at least 2 hours before I can take the weight off it, but I'll probably leave it on all night. And then it's got a full cure in 24 hours at 70 degrees, so I've cranked the heater up. I'm kind of sweating a little bit, but I got the heat cranked up to help cure this thing up. It's already starting to tack up nice, so I can see the exposed epoxy, so that's good to go. I think it's going to be fantastic. So that's it for this time. Next time we'll peel all this crap off and see what it looks like and start building some custom drip rail action out of round rod and hopefully finish up the skin and all that on the top. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm putting out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Tell your friends. Let's get some more subscribers for 2020. And always come on back, check out what's going on here at the Quick Speed Shop.